Hey buddy, welcome back. Todd here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Today's another one of those cold single-digit Michigan Saturdays, so it's going to be a shop day. I'm pretty excited because I picked up these Harley-Davidson Saddlebag Paks for my 2021 Harley-Davidson Sport Glide, and so I'm going to unbox these, stick them on the bike, take you along, show you these. I looked for some videos on these things online, couldn't really find anything. So if you're like me, if you're thinking about getting your bags organized and you're looking for these inserts, you've seen them on the Harley-Davidson website, come on with me and I'll give you a close look at them. Here's the Saddlebag Travel-Paks. There's two of them and they're both in that pretty small, lightweight box. Now, I've been looking at these online on the Harley website, and I decided to, since I was going to be in the dealership last weekend, I decided to wait and make my purchase through the dealership. Really just a plug for the dealerships. I don't have any vested interest in my dealer, but I will say this, guys. We all depend on those dealerships being around, and it helps those guys out when you bring your parts through them. So sure, this is over $50. I could have bought it online, had it shipped right to me, but decided to go ahead and get them through the dealership. But you know, nonetheless, it took less than a week for them to get them in, and they gave me a call and I picked them up. So all right, there's my plug for use your dealers. All right, let's get this thing opened up and take a look at these things. Okay, we got the thing sliced open in the side. Pretty lightweight. Let's get rid of the box. Okay. Pretty lightweight. So they're contoured perfectly to fit these saddlebags on the Sport Glide. And of course, if you've got a Sport Glide, they're different than most of the bigger baggers. They're a little bit slimmer bags. The big thing is they have those hydraulic, whatever that thing is called, actuator or something, in there that opens up. And you've got to be careful with that in there because stuff gets tucked behind it. Then you go to shut it and your bag doesn't want to shut right, and it's just a pain in the butt. I'm hoping that these inserts will allow me to stick those in there. Then I've got a soft side in here, a soft bag. I actually had a pair of Harley-Davidson sunglasses that I stuck in my pack in a rainstorm, stopped, pulled my sunglasses off, put my clear visor down, and you know, the next day when I pulled those out of there, they had gotten scratched up because they got bounced around in there in that hard clamshell case. So, you know, I'm hoping that these things will give me some protection inside those bags. But let's go ahead, take a minute, stick them in the bike and take a look at them. Before I move over to the bike, let's take a look at some of the dimensions. I did a measurement. Of course, here's the case. So I did a measurement here, about 6 inches here. You can see this is the bottom. So you can see they kind of taper down into the back. So by the time you get to the back of the bag here, that's the back of the bag, you're at about 4 1/4 to 4 1/2 inches to the piping on the outside of the bag. And they're like 23 inches or something like that long from end to end. And here we'll get a measurement on that. Little over 10 inches tall from here to there. So gives you an idea of the size of the bag. There are no pockets on the inside. That's one of the complaints that you heard a lot from people is, why didn't they put some pockets in there for the little stuff or whatever? Yeah, I can't disagree with that comment, but all in all, I'm okay with that. The zipper seems to be really well made. It's got a D-ring on it here on both ends. So you could clamp on a shoulder strap, which it does not come with. Another complaint that I heard online, but again, not a big deal for me. I don't plan on walking around town with these things or whatever. I've got that travel pack that you guys saw in another video. If you haven't seen that, it's a tail bag or rack pack. I'll put a link here to that. So, all right, let's take a look at the saddlebags first inside, and I'll show you what the problem is and what this is the solution to, if that makes any sense. Come on. Here's the bike, and here's the saddlebags. So, they're clamshell, open up. Right now it's pretty cold out, so it takes a few minutes for the hydraulics to pump that open. But so that opens right up, and here, let me come around the back side. Okay, here's the back side. So you can see that again, it's a clamshell. It opens up, folds out. You've got a mesh net on the inside there, so that your stuff doesn't fall out. You got that on both sides. But it's hard, you know, you got the hard shell here, you've got these bolts, lots of stuff or things to get scratched on. And that's where I've had a problem, just putting stuff in there and it's just kind of bouncing around. So I want to get it organized. All right, let's go slip one of these in there and take a look at it. Okay, so as you can imagine, it's a perfect fit. I definitely like it. A couple of things. I like the fact that height-wise, it falls just below this. So it's going to tuck right up under there. So for shutting and opening this thing, front and back, it's going to be perfect. Boy, it really looks like expanding it. You can really stuff a lot of stuff in there. And so the key is, here I'll show you my crap. There's all the stuff I normally carry in my saddlebags, right? So I'll kind of sort that out. We'll pack this saddlebag, we'll stuff it in there, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, it's time to put this thing to the test. So I'm going to take all the things that I usually have in that one saddlebag, and I'm going to put it inside of that pack, the Harley-Davidson Travel-Pak, and we'll see if it all fits and if it actually makes things better for me. So here's what I'm putting in there. I got my Milwaukee Performance rain gear. There's a pair of pants with the bibs and the suspenders as well as the jacket. So it's a pretty robust rain gear. You can see that's not a small bag by itself. Then I've got my Cruise Tools Road Tech tool bag with all the Harley-Davidson tools in there. Pretty good size and it's heavy. I got my Nelson Rig rain boots, right? Slip them over your feet. 2 of those. And then I've got my waterproof riding gloves for riding in the rain. So I'm gonna go ahead and stuff all of that in this bag. Then I'll be back and I'll show you how it worked out. There it is. It fit. Now, I'm not gonna kid you, it took a little figuring out, like anything else. If you're gonna pack it, you know, how do you do it? Where do you put where in here? But that was a lot of stuff, you guys. I mean, you know that. I had a heck of a time getting it in those clamshell bags and getting the bags to close because, you know, those hydraulic actuator things, you know, kept getting in the way. And so now, everything's nice and neat in here, and the question is this thing going to go inside of the clamshell? Let's take a look. Move some cameras, but let's go take a look. All right, there's our bag. Let's slide her in there. Wow. Feels like there's all kinds of extra room in there. Just like that. Man, I'm loving that. So I went and grabbed this. Here's what I keep my registration, proof of insurance, some extra cash, stuff like that, my Harley-Davidson warranty cards and stuff like that. Honestly, with this bag in here now, instead of keeping it on the other side, kick that right inside there, fold this up against it, because I mean, how often do I use that? I don't. There. I mean, there's actually extra room in there. I could put other things as well. Again, pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm super happy, you guys. And this thing really, it's a good fit. Big bag, well made. There. Perfect. Well, let's wrap this one up. Here's what I'm going to tell you about the Harley-Davidson Saddlebag Paks. It's a great buy. Here's a pair of Harley-Davidson sunglasses. You can't see it, but right here it's all scratched on the lens. I told you earlier, in a rainstorm, I peeled them off, threw them in my pack, in my saddlebags, rode home with them. The next day when I got my stuff out, they were all scratched up because that lens came into contact with the hard shell outers and scratched it. Well, these two bags cost 65 bucks for the pair of them, and I think it's a great buy. Certainly those Harley-Davidson glasses cost more than that. I'll put the rest of my stuff in there. Yeah, you know, again, the complaints were that there's no bags or no pockets for the little stuff. I'm glad about that, because you saw how much stuff I stuck in there with my rain gear and all that kind of stuff. I don't need a bag or for what I packed in there. I wouldn't have used any kind of a zippered bag. I don't really have a problem. I use Ziploc bags. I perforate it so that, if it heats up, it's not ballooning up. Just poke some holes in it. But I mean, here's my tire gauge and the extension for putting air in. Here's some eye drops and some ibuprofen and stuff like that. I mean, I just use a series of Ziploc bags with a few perforated holes in them. They work fine for keeping stuff separated, but to each his own. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of my stuff in this other bag and throw it on the bike, and then put the bike back under cover and put the trickle charger on her. So have a great day. I appreciate you stopping by as always. And if you do me a favor and hit that like button, it helps me out. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing and coming on back and joining me on the next one. So see you on the next one.